¿Qué pasa cuando el club más laureado de un país, dueño de una historia centenaria y con una de las hinchadas más fieles del planeta, de un día para el otro, se derrumba y desaparece? Esta es la historia del Glasgow Rangers de Escocia. Hoy en Destino Fútbol, el hundimiento.
Si a la pasión por el Rangers hubiera que buscarle una familia, la casa de los Bain sería el mejor refugio.
Tell the story then about the hospital.
Es difícil saber cuándo los Bain hablan de su equipo o cuándo lo hacen de su vida, quizá porque nunca fueron cosas diferentes.
My dad was in intensive care, and it all happened so quickly. No, 1 minute he was okay, next minute he was up in the hospital. He's lying in the bed, and the colour had drained. He was really seriously ill looking, and the surgeon that was going to perform the operation instantly, because there was no time to waste. They had to do it there and then, and the whole family. You were there, Cameron. We were all standing. There was about 14 of us around the bed. We don't know what to do, and the surgeon says, "Is there anybody want to ask any questions before we start here?" And there's total silence. You know, people are just, they don't know what to say. And then there was a sort of mumble through the bed, and everybody's like, "What?" And the surgeon bends over the bed and takes the oxygen mask off my dad. And my dad says, "How many games are we going to miss?" And it's sort of, everybody's... What did you say? I think the surgeon just thought,
My first game, 1934. I would say 3.
You missed 3 games.
Yeah. It's just a different feeling altogether to be a Ranger, believe me.
You be careful. Hope your team wins.
Hope so, I know, right.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a safe journey.
I've been going to see Rangers since I was 4-year-old with my father, so 37 years ago.
The love for the club is something you can't always explain to people. It's been handed down through generations, like it was to me. The bond just gets stronger every time.
Going to the game and saying, wow, the fans, the singing, the happiness you see for the first time and you fall in love. That's the way it was.
Si a la familia de Tiny hubiera que buscarle un hogar, ninguno mejor que Ibrox, el estadio del Rangers. Nieta de la lavandera, hija de la camarera y sobrina del jardinero, Tiny es, desde hace 30 años, la encargada del museo.
It's in the blood. It's just part of your life. If any of our friends passed away, right, and the funeral was on the day of a match, we never got to the funeral. Welcome to Rangers Trophy Room. It's fantastic here. In the back wall, we have 54 league flags. It's the most a club has ever won. In 1988, we won 9 league trophies in a row. This has never been done by any other club other than Rangers Football Club.
Our history, our tradition, our heritage.
A club which has provided more players to play for the Scotland side than any other club.
It's just a massive club. I mean, you know, you look at the amount of people who go to the games. I suppose that's the biggest way to judge it.
Hello, good afternoon. Rangers Football Club has announced it's gone into administration following an unsuccessful
revealed
legal
it could face disputed tax bills and penalties of up to £75 million.
The club cannot pay. Within 10 days, administrators will move in to run Rangers, who will be deducted 10 league points.
El club pasa a ser gestionado por un administrador judicial. Está en concurso de acreedores. La orden es clara: acabar con la deuda. Algo que solo puede conseguirse de una forma: vendiendo. Así que los jugadores, las instalaciones y el estadio están en venta. Todo el Rangers está en venta.
I think that went on for about 2 or 3 weeks of uncertainty, and people start getting nervous and what's going to happen.
The wages hadn't been paid, players had taken reductions in salary.
Oh dear me, it was very, very tough, very tough.
Ali McCoy's, the manager, was managing for no pay.
In terms of the running of the football club and what was happening to the football club, it was an absolute disaster.
He was trying to deal with players, he was trying to get a team out in the field, he was trying to do all the press, you know, basically, and it was hard. It must have been absolutely incredibly hard for him.
Oh, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a mathematician, a banker, you name it, you name it. Oh dear me.
Every week was something worse, something worse, something worse.
The administrator who was controlling the club was selling players. 28 players left Rangers.
A savage, savage blow.
Resulta difícil entender de qué manera, por qué un club de tal magnitud de repente salta por los aires.
The problem was that Rangers, with its 2 previous owners, had embarked on plans to become competitive in Champions League, for example, and the club at that stage was spending more money than it had, and the club got into real financial difficulties.
Somebody came into our club and was unscrupulous. Invoices over £1,000, he was the only person that signed it. He kept a very tight control of all monies.
Craig White allowed the club to not pay taxes. That resulted in a catastrophic consequence and series of events.
Revenue and Customs' decision to refuse a CBA deal makes the company's liquidation inevitable.
Rangers is fighting for its very existence.
I think I was in here when it came through.
I just got into the car and turned the radio on. There was a special report.
It came through on TV.
Rangers will go into liquidation after the taxman rejected a deal over the club's debt.
El 14 de junio de 2012, el Rangers Football Club, el que nació en 1899, deja de existir.
Never dreamt it would happen, honest, I really did. And I can't get over the fact that it has happened.
Of course, it wasn't a bad dream, it was reality.
My hand up to God, I'll never forgive him for it.
I was heartbroken, to be quite honest with you. I had never felt like that in Ibrox. Ever, ever, ever.
I feel right down. I mean, down isn't the word for it. I feel depressed.
We didn't have an owner, we didn't have a director, we didn't have a chief executive, we didn't have a chairman, we didn't have a finance director, we had nothing, absolutely nothing. The most difficult period in our club's history.
Es urgente que alguien se haga cargo de la estructura que aún permanece.
A business colleague called me and said, "How would you like to be the next CEO of Rangers?" And I said, "No, thank you." The last thing on my mind was a new project, and definitely not a project of this magnitude. 4 days later, he called me again and said, "Look, we really need to look at this business opportunity because Rangers needs to be saved.
Charles Green compra los activos del club y crea una nueva compañía. Para los hinchas es el Rangers de toda la vida, pero para el resto de los equipos es otro club. Si quiere volver a jugar en la Premier League escocesa, Rangers debe pedir una plaza. Al hacerlo, se encuentra con que ya nadie los quiere allí.
We weren't members of the Scottish Football Association. We were not members of any football league. We weren't allowed to sign players.
They're not happy at all with the way they've been bloody treated. And I wouldn't help you any club now. They asked me for help for it, any kind of talk, I would just knock them back. No, I'm not even interested. Because they don't have the Rangers.
The main protest was at Hampden, and there were 10,000 Rangers supporters marched to protest against the Scottish Football Association.
Demonstrates the level of injustice that we've been served on us by the Scottish Football Association.
Sandy Jardine got involved with it, and the club endorsed it. So the club wanted to get involved with it as well as a show of strength where the club and the fans came together.
Por primera vez en muchos años, la hinchada siente que toma el mando. Falta algo muy importante por decidir.
The fans' representatives came to me in my office here and said, Mr. Green, we would like, with your permission, to ask fans what league they would like to play in. Were we going to go stay in the SPL? Were we going to go down to the first division? Would we go to the third division? Or maybe we get stopped completely? And the fans here said, let us vote, let us decide. And 78% of all the fans who voted said go to the third division.
If they want us out the league, we'll take that. But we start at the bottom again and we work our way up.
Because for them, they wanted to show the whole world and to show Scotland that Rangers can take the punishment, we can take it on the chin, we will then proudly go through these leagues.
When Rangers regain their place at the top table, nobody will be able to say that they've been helped. Rangers will have been clean, they will have cleansed themselves, and they will have a tremendous authority.
Right, we'll start at the very bottom. We know it's going to be a long, hard road, but let's go.
Es en ese momento cuando el club se entrega a sus dos pilares, los más importantes, quienes en tiempo de huida decidieron quedarse. El máximo goleador de la historia del Rangers, eterno ídolo y ahora entrenador, Ali McCoist. Y su prolongación en el campo. El gran capitán, Lee McCulloch. Después de estar toda una vida tocando el cielo, la nueva realidad es mucho más difícil de lo imaginado.
We couldn't go and sign players because we didn't have a license to play until I think 3 days before the season started. So my players weren't allowed to play one pre-season game. I had a chat with our younger boys and said, right, here we go. You've now got an opportunity like no other younger boys at Rangers have ever had. Because I tell you all, if you're good enough, you'll play.
Un nuevo mundo espera al Glasgow Rangers. Bienvenidos a la cuarta categoría del fútbol escocés.
The pitches are a little bit smaller, which make it difficult for you, so...
There's nothing there. There's nothing over there. and you got a few things here for supporters, and about 200 or 300 stand for holding 200 or 300 people. And you say to yourself, how the... I told them that, they're all killing themselves laughing. He says, the back row, I says, aye, road B. That was the back row. Road B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back row.
Scotland is physical at the best of time, the game. But when you go to the third division, it's a lot more physical.
To enjoy the journey now. And the referee, Mike Tubblety's got his...
Oh, it's different. It's different.
All of these players have been dreaming all their life of playing Rangers.
Got a cry to steer it through.
Teams play it like their cup final. They're well organised, they can make it difficult for you.
When we play, no matter who we play, particularly away from home, the opposition, they're up there.
These teams roll their sleeves up and get what we would term get wired in, and the game is really physical.
That was a cruncher.
Jugar en la cuarta categoría guarda algo mucho más doloroso que las patadas. La liga escocesa se queda sin el derbi de Glasgow. El Rangers Celtic.
The hairs in the back of your neck stand up when you're watching the Rangers Celtic game.
All the players are all pumped up.
Two clubs are very, very mired, and what you have is two sets of supporters that are very passionate.
If it's a Rangers Celtic game and I'm meant to be working the next day, I'll take a day's holiday off work because I'll celebrate for most of the night.
Manchester, Liverpool, Arsenal, maybe Spurs, and Real Madrid and Barcelona, they don't come close, seriously, to a Rangers Celtic game.
There's a story I tell people. The worst day of my life was January 1943. So that was you lose your leg. I says, no, Rangers beat Celtic 8-1, and I missed it.
¿Y el Celtic? ¿Qué piensa una hinchada que de repente se ha quedado sin rival?
Other Celtic supporters celebrated the fact that their enemy was having such difficulty and that they may actually go out of business.
What they did wasn't ethical.
And if they've not paid their taxes, they have to take the punishment.
They are where they should be because they did wrong.
If you spend money you do not have, if you do not pay your taxes, then you have to pay the price. The price on this occasion is that Rangers, as a business, has gone bust.
I haven't missed it this year, no, because we've got Europe.
I don't think we missed them all that much.
Yeah, I can go a couple of years without them.
¿Y qué pasa cuando ese rival es el máximo rival, el único rival?
You don't miss it until it's not there. You don't understand what it does for you until you don't have it.
It's disappointing for Scottish football not to have Rangers in the Premiership, and it's disappointing for Scottish football, but I just hope they do well in the third division and rise back up again.
Horrible to see again, yes, but we would, yeah. I would miss them in Scottish football, yeah. It's probably better with them than without them.
Because the Premiership needs a Rangers and Celtic rivalry.
We need that in Scotland for the good of Scottish football.
Old married couples can survive together even if they are fighting all the time.
I think the league is not as exciting anymore. I think Celtic will win the league convincingly.
We are not anything like the team we were, but we have a team now, more importantly, that is able to compete in the division we're in. Hopefully win the division we're in. And start the progress back to the top.
I know it's hard playing in the third division, but we're still here.
El seguidor del Rangers recupera parte del orgullo herido cuando su equipo juega en casa, cuando la hinchada llena a Ibrox, cuando la cuarta categoría se disfraza de primera.
You walk out the door and we turn left out the dressing room door and everybody's shouting, come on, we need to go and win this game.
You could smell the tension. As you walk down the tunnel, you could feel the noise.
The atmosphere is getting louder and louder.
And the hairs in the back of your neck, you know, would stand on end.
The adrenaline starts kicking in and the heart starts beating. The proudness that comes out, how proud it is to be walking out in front of all the fans.
We're in the third division just now, and our average attendances are higher than our rival Celtic, who are playing in the Premier Division.
49,000 and all that carry on. It's unbelievable. But it just showed what they feel for Rangers, and I think that's great.
The number one reason why the club exists is the supporters, the people.
We're here, we're staying here, we're not going anywhere because we are the Rangers. Rangers will never die.
Can't afford to let what happened happen again.
One of the things that has been learned is never to allow anybody to achieve that kind of control over Rangers again.
If we keep rising and going forward the way we are and we stay together, we'll come back where we're meant to be and we'll be stronger for that.
Puede que lo más difícil de un largo viaje sea precisamente lo que ha hecho el Rangers, empezarlo. Un camino que, aunque incómodo, tiene la certeza de que ahora sí va en la dirección correcta.
A different feeling altogether to be a Ranger, believe me.
You be careful. Hope your team wins.
Hope so, I know, right.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a safe journey.
I've been going to see Rangers since I was 4-year-old with my father, so 37 years ago.
The love for the club is something you can't always explain to people. It's been handed down through generations, like it was to me. The bond just gets stronger every time.
Going to the game and saying, wow, the fans, the singing, the happiness you see for the first time and you fall in love, that's the way it was.
Si a la familia de Tiny hubiera que buscarle un hogar, ninguno mejor que Ibrox, el estadio del Rangers. Nieta de la lavandera, hija de la camarera y sobrina del jardinero, Tiny es, desde hace 30 años, la encargada del museo.
It's in the blood. It's just part of your life. If any of our friends passed away, right, and the funeral was on the day of a match, we never got to the funeral.
Si a la pasión por el Rangers hubiera que buscarle una familia, la casa de los Bain sería el mejor refugio.
Tell the story then about the hospital.
Es difícil saber cuándo los Bain hablan de su equipo o cuándo lo hacen de su vida, quizá porque nunca fueron cosas diferentes.
My dad was in intensive care, and it all happened so quickly. No, 1 minute he was okay, next minute he was up in the hospital. He's lying in the bed, and the colour had drained. He was really seriously ill looking, and the surgeon that was going to perform the operation instantly, because there was no time to waste. They had to do it there and then, and the whole family. You were there, Cameron. We were all standing. There was about 14 of us around the bed. We don't know what to do, and the surgeon says, "Is there anybody want to ask any questions before we start here?" And there's total silence. You know, people are just, they don't know what to say. And then there was a sort of mumble through the bed, and everybody's like, "What?" And the surgeon bends over the bed and takes the oxygen mask off my dad. And my dad says, "How many games are we going to miss?" And it's sort of, everybody's... What did you say? I think the surgeon just thought,
My first game, 1934. I would say 3.
You missed 3 games?
Yeah. It's just that.
¿Qué pasa cuando el club más laureado de un país, dueño de una historia centenaria y con una de las hinchadas más fieles del planeta, de un día para el otro se derrumba y desaparece? Esta es la historia del Glasgow Rangers de Escocia. Hoy en Destino Fútbol, el hundimiento.